All right. Hello, welcome to the stream. June 2022. I mean, June 20, 20th, 2026. Monday after holiday. And we are back, or we are getting back on track. London Open session. Welcome, don't you, Christian? Hello, hello. All right, today, we'll see. We are very close to potentially past the first stage. So that might be in the cards. Nonetheless, let's do the analysis. And let's start with the 15-minute chart here. Right away, I like the buy side liquidity here on the 15-minute chart on ES. I also want to add the new week opening up right there. That's the current new week opening up. And I would like to add the quadrants to it because it's a reasonable size of the gap in here. With the price action so far, I favor the buy side liquidity, obviously. But yeah, we are in a very close in proximity to that, which we'll see. But I would like to get some return or touch to the new week opening up first before potentially expecting higher. So let's see what we get. But I really like the buy side liquidity here as a potential draw on the upside. Besides that, there is a nice little pool of, oops, not this way. Nice little pool of liquidity right here. That is very, very, very smooth and juicy too. So these two on the upside are very proficient, I would say, but yeah, this one is the closest. So it's more of like a minor buy side. It has a high probability to be tapped into, I believe. But nonetheless, I will add the event horizon in between those two high probability liquidity pools. And for a good measure, just for a good measure, what's reasonable in terms of event horizon, what's reasonable within potential targets on the upside. So generally, everything until the event horizon here above the buy side is quite reasonable expectation. Anything above might be a little bit harder to get, but still not impossible, right? Up into this buy side. But the highest probability will definitely be somewhere inside of this between this event horizon and the relative equal highs, something like this. And the new week opening up key PD rate to potentially return back into and then offer some movement, I believe. I like the buy side right there. That was pretty sharp. Low again. Nice busy here on the 1 minute. But yeah, ever since we are kind of like grinding higher. Look at the trend line phantom that's being formulated here. It's pretty obvious trend line phantom there. Price is extending in such a up rally here. That's pretty interesting. I don't necessarily want to chase that rally, so that's kind of like the portion of this idea that I will need to see if we can manage to drop lower into this new week opening up, or clear some sell side and leave the buy side here intact. Then I'm very interested in that buy side to be engaged on. But right now, currently, I would wait for that specifically, for that event. MQ. Let's go through this one. All right, MQ working off of this new week opening up here, this volume imbalance, some levels there that are probably no more salient. 15-minute. All right, so Nasdaq took out the respective buy side already here. So that's what I'm aiming for on ES, but Nasdaq already did smashed right on through it, and it has more interesting buy side up here for Nasdaq, which is inside of this CB. That we are kind of approaching at the moment. Besides that, there is pretty much only the all-time high, the new all-time high in place. Yeah, I mean, Nasdaq looks stronger, but it already took out this buy side. It probably gonna go, or I mean, probably it's gonna seek the buy side liquidity above this high, and then we're gonna see whether it goes above this fair value gap here on 15-minute, or does it stay within that, because that would be indicative whether it wants to continue or not. At this moment particularly, I like the ES a little bit more in terms of aiming for the buy side here. The fact that Nasdaq already did that makes me even more comfortable with aiming for that particular pool of liquidity on ES. Yeah, Nasdaq looked pretty strong in here, but yeah, it made that run on buy side relative equal highs just recently, so my expectations for Nasdaq are a little bit smaller. So consolidation to some measure of retracement on Nasdaq is reasonable, I would say. But if that's the case, that could lead to MES retracing back into its new week opening up here. That later could send us towards the buy side liquidity up here, which would be basically my setup for the silver bullet, if possible. I mean, if that would be the case, right? We'll obviously see. All right. 1 minute until the 3 a.m. I'm basically done with my analysis, and I have a clear picture about what I want to do versus what I don't want to do. So I basically don't want to be short. I prefer ES over Nasdaq with potential longs too, because it has the buy side still in play. And yeah, that's the idea. But preferably we see some measure of discount array being used first. That basically will open up potential gate for a trade. So yeah, we'll see. It's Monday. It's the first session of the week that I'm looking for or participating in. It was, I mean, there was a holiday on Friday, which means and the day after, in this case Monday, might be a little bit fuzzy, especially in the morning session. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah, nonetheless, 3 a.m. hit or started, and now we are watching. If we go straight on through and reach up into this buy side right away, off of all of this, then I probably that's just a missed opportunity at that point, I believe. I'm not really into chasing a price run like this, and it's really extended here to the upside. So it either gives me some measure of reasonable discount first, so I could engage that properly, or it's just no trade for me. But nonetheless, whatever happens will be a good positive experience to navigate in, especially while having the entire plan outlined already at the beginning. So that's very, very good spot to be in as a trader usually. Right, so recently the short-term highs, the buy side liquidity was engaged many times. Basically all the time, buy side was being poked, while the sell side liquidity and short-term lows were being saved and spared from being attacked at all times here, since basically like an hour or even more, hour and a half, meaning that there is a lot of sell-side liquidity resting below those lows too, that could be utilized for offering a potential continuation. If that's the play, we'll see. As long as this buy side liquidity is not being engaged and we see a discount, I'm interested. If we will engage that first and then go to a discount, then I would need to see like way more information. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean the basket is definitely in a close proximity to where price is currently, meaning that it wouldn't be like too earth-shattering if we just smashed right on through it, especially because Nasdaq already did so. But yeah, we'll see. Nonetheless, I'm not interested in entering anything in here particularly. So there is or will be a likely or potential first presentation for the silver bullet hour forming right here. It even has this lower volume balance here, which could be included altogether. And the inefficiency would look something like this. Maybe I should use some more of a gray color because I'm not interested in this this one particularly. Even if it taps into it and delivers, that's too little of a range. So that's like 4 handles from this inefficiency to the buy side while being really, really extended. So yeah, I'm not particularly interested in this. I know that kind of feels like a good bait to offer that currently as a potential long, but smashing right on through it and attacking some sell side below this trend line phantom would be interesting. But yeah, I mean, so far it's just pushing higher, and it can easily or reasonably get up into there. I'm not saying it can't, but in terms of like engaging this price at this particular moment with this particular price action, and that's a little bit too ambitious for my liking. Good morning, Sonia. Hello. Welcome. So yeah, looks like we are getting the return into this inefficiency here, but again, I'm not trusting that this one is likely or high probability to deliver. It can. It definitely can. If it does, that's a missed opportunity for me. But I would way more like to see this give way and seek some sell side liquidity instead, and or return into this new week opening up. That would be honestly the ideal scenario versus just delivering from this one higher. If it does, then yeah, that's a missed opportunity for me. All right. So far so good. I would say we came pretty close to those relative equal highs biased here, but not necessarily taken it out yet. Initial reaction off of that fair value gap. If it's good, it will quickly deliver to the buy side, like in two, 3 candles max, and it will be poking higher. But yeah, I mean, it's too deep inside this range, too deep into premium for me to engage it the way I would like to engage it. So I prefer way more to see this give way, trade some lower, touch this new week opening up, take some sell side, and then start turning higher, and then I would be interested in going long if the buy side is still standing, so to say. So that's kind of like the game plan, the idea right now. That could still be potentially a good bait for making some people buy this bullish for value gap, with the idea to send it up here, right, or higher, giving him this one green candle like some confirmation or emotional stimulus, and then taking it lower would be ideal. Not saying that this will happen, but that's what I would like to see happen. If it doesn't, no skin off my back. All right, so second trade down into it, a little bit deeper now. That makes me think or feel like or that I'm initially potentially correct about my assumption of returning into this new week opening up. Because if it were really, really strong and bullish here, it would already deliver. The buy side, it doesn't yet. So unless it smashes with some weird one candle up, then I believe this new week opening up is game on. So yeah, it stopped perfectly at the consecutive encroachment of this inefficiency here. After the second trade down into it, right? So this is like the last chance for it. If it wants to still deliver higher from it, it should do it now. I mean, I like the fact that it closed at the high, not above it. So let's see if it can offer any resistance there or not. Well, I mean, we definitely spent too much time, or we are spending too much time inside of this inefficiency here for my liking. Anyway, the first 15 minutes are behind us, basically. And yeah, still 45 minutes to go. And can we see a potential setup form within that time? Definitely, I would say. But we need to start doing something rather than just marking time like this. And basically everything from the initial analysis still stays true within this so far. So let's see. All right, it's rallying higher, more aggressively here. So in my opinion, if it, I mean, in my opinion, this should attack the buy side if it's good. If it fails here after this rally up, then it should really retrace into this new week opening up first to secure some discount, to take off some sell side liquidity, and then likely attack the buy side because, yeah. So let's see if it goes there, then that's like a missed opportunity. I'm not touching this. If it goes lower, I might be touching it. So pretty simple idea. Also, this is the first session, this first session for this week. So I'm not necessarily in a large rush to do anything. So it either offers exactly what I want, or I'm pretty fine with passing on a trade. I mean, at this point, it should not come back into this inefficiency anymore, and it should just continuously extend to the upside, because it made basically lower low, and a slightly lower low here into it. So no business to coming back to this inefficiency unless it's actually gonna go lower, I feel like. But yeah, we are in such a close proximity to the buy side that's that it would be 100% reasonable, or maybe I should say likely, to potentially tap into it. And if it does, that's great, that's fine. But it didn't necessarily offer the entry that I was looking for, the model that I was looking for, the setup that I was looking for. And that's also fine. So yeah, I've taken this short-term buy side liquidity here, still falling short to the buy side relative equal highs up here. Let's see if we can get it. We should technically, but we'll see. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if we go and reach the buy sell liquidity here first, right, then I would have some counterplay ideas in terms of like potentially seeking this new week opening up as an extra, or at least looking for some ideas that could lend to that instead. And that would be like something to watch. I mean, so far still we fall short of that relatively cool high buy side liquidity. We've taken this short term high and now we are a little bit like showing some weakness here, closing back below it. So yeah, that's pretty suspect in this area, I would say. As I said, any return back into this inefficiency is or shouldn't be seen as bullish in my mind. So if it does go there, it's more likely to just go through it. I think we'll see. So yeah, I mean it's really taking its time here. It's definitely taking its time. But yeah, nonetheless it's still in this iffy type of area where it could deliver this buy side, it could fall short of it and drop it lower here. So I'm still kind of waiting for what it wants to actually do. And then I can reshape my idea again, I believe. But yeah, generally expecting some measure of return into this new week opening up seems a little bit like reasonable, I would say, because we work a lot around this level ever since the open, right? We work with around it here. We run away aggressively, but then we have this return back into it here, run away, return back into it here, then we go above it. So return back or down into it there would be somewhat reasonable in terms of the price delivery here. Let's see. Again, it's kind of falling short after taking the short-term buy side and now pulling back down inside of this range. So if that's the case, and if it comes back into this inefficiency one more time, as it's probably doing it right now, then my expectation is to see the price seek back into this new week opening up. I know, Sonia, I'm not necessarily interested in SMT right now, currently, at this moment, as I believe it's still in this iffy area where it could deliver the buy side, it could come back into this new week opening gap, and I'm just trying to wait and see which one will be delivered next. My preferred scenario from the open was leave the buy side in play intact and return down into this new week opening gap first, and then potentially seek higher. But obviously, yeah, that's a wild card at this moment. And yeah, no biggie. I mean, let's see if it offers anything like that. Because if it doesn't, then what can I do, right? Yeah, I mean, it's spending a lot of time in a very, very close proximity to this buy side, right? Like, we could already run the buy side 10 times if this really wanted to do so. But it's just slow in a sense. It's just slow in a sense here. So yeah, I mean, this is the buy side that I'm looking for. This is the buy side, the same buy side on Nasdaq already run out, right? And that's fine. That's good. I would expect ES to like do a follow up to that. But yeah, I mean, it's too close to the actual buy side for me to buy it just because, or just here. Therefore, I'm looking for some measure of discount first, and that first reasonable discount would be this new week opening up. Therefore, if you can come back down into it and then start some rally up, I would be interested in it during the 3 to 4 a.m. silver bullet hour. But yeah, I mean, so far it's really refusing to show much at all, which is yeah, kind of problematic in a sense, right? Yeah, I mean, it's really taking a lot of time. Again, I would expect that it should run the bicep at this moment only because it's so close to it. And it's been delivered higher aggressively, but that's not something that in my mind is very much tradable with a great deal of probability. Even if it delivers, that's just not something I would personally like to trade on. So yeah, it's being or becoming really weird around here. It seems like it's engineering somewhat of relative equal highs, buys liquidity here at this moment. But yeah, to confirm that, it would need to trade lower first. Let's see, it's very slow. It's very slow in here. Also, we are approaching the 330. So this is the time that we are likely going to see a measure of more one-sided and protracted run, higher or lower. So that's something to watch. If we tap higher right away, that's fine. Then my focus or my attention would dial or change or shift a little bit more to this new week opening up for the remainder of the session. But yeah, ever since the first 30 minutes, not much really changed, right? The initial criteria for a potential setup to form is still the same. It's still active. We haven't taken the buy side and we didn't reach the new week opening up. None of those was met first yet, which basically puts me in this area or spot of just wait and see. Every candle that doesn't follow the criteria or doesn't met the criteria means you need to wait and see the next one. And I did it basically since the beginning of this session, and it's still just being slow, and that's it. So we'll see. Okay, we tap or we touch into this inefficiency here one more time there. But why I think that this isn't necessarily ideal. I mean, can it deliver? Maybe, because we are still very close in proximity and there are relative equal highs still. So that wouldn't be like completely unexpected, right? But we already traded into it here during a macro still, and it failed to reach the buy side there. So ever since, just consolidating, marking time basically, would really be convenient to leave those relative equal highs like they are here and then drop into this new week opening up to later come back for this larger, greater pool of liquidity and run it out later, right? But yeah, I mean, it's very, 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 very slow and tricky to tell. Therefore, I just gotta wait and see. Hello, Nekobasu-san. Waiting for something indeed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Still waiting, still waiting. So yeah, again, the buy side is in crosshairs all this time. It's the buy side is in crosshairs, but it's too close in proximity to engage it like reasonably well in my mind. So that's the deal here. I rather pass on this potential trade here long off of that inefficiency than chase the price very, very deep into the range. Basically, that's the simple logic behind it. All right, and it looks like it failed to again touch the short-term high, and it falls short again of those relative equal highs by liquidity. Let's see if we can now see some extended drop to the downside, seeking some sell side and or the new week opening up. Because yeah, in my mind, in my opinion, if it wanted to reach and take out the buy side already here, it should done it. It should have done it by now. But yeah, because it didn't, then I'm thinking that it's more likely to have or see some measure of retracement lower first, and then the buy side is being engineered around here like crazy, to be honest. So let's see. I generally don't want to see this inefficiency act as the discount rate to send it higher. I would like to see price go right on through it and try at least make an attempt to come back to the new week opening up. So 19 more minutes left for this London open session silver bullet, and let's see. All right, nice deep dive into this inefficiency. Let's see if we can leave it to the downside and possibly extend towards the new week opening up. Small little bearish for value gap right here. All right, both ES and Nasdaq are seeing some measure of retracement. All right, it's 3:44, so 16 more minutes for this silver bullet hour. Let's see if we can see something. I potentially like this bearish for value gap here. I potentially would like this to act as a bullish inversion for value gap. Maybe not right away, but if we could seek some lower prices first, some sell side here first, and then come back above it, that would make more sense to me as a potential bullish inversion for value gap to send us higher. But yeah, we'll see what we get nonetheless. All right, and we basically started the last 15 minutes of the session. The first 45 minutes were pretty slow and not really eventful at all. Now we started to do or show a little bit of um, speed up, but still I would like to see a little bit more of a drop here, I assume, but nonetheless, this bearish fair gap here, if we go on a closing basis above it, could act as a potential inversion. That would be still a little bit of aggressive in my mind, in a sense, but for this particular session and for a potential run on this buy side, that would be like something that I personally could reasonably expect at least to deliver. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, the range is so small that I would need to go with over 40 contracts. I don't even know if I'm allowed to use this many, by the way. So that's a little bit boosted, I think. No, I'm not gonna take that. All right, so it closed above it here. So my expectation would be if we return down into it, it should act as a bullish inversion to send it higher, potentially. But yeah, again, because the range is so small and so tight, and this whole session was pretty wonky, I just don't want to necessarily gamble on it. Just because it maybe could be there, right? Yeah, if it delivers, that's great, that's fine, but yeah. This whole circus is pretty yeah, draining to watch. But let's see, we close above it, we gave a touch, a return into it here. And the idea would be to quickly smash right on through it and attack the buy side liquidity and some above, obviously. Is that in play, or could that be in play? Let's see. So yeah, definitely the positive aspect of this delivering is the fact that it took some relatively low sell side liquidity here. So that could unlock this run. But still, the range is very small. It didn't change too much. It's only like half of a handle better. And yeah, I mean, I guess it could work there, but the size with full risk that I would need to go with, I don't know if this is worth it. Yeah, I mean, I like how the bodies are respecting this high of this inversion for value gap here. I like to see that. And if that's the case, I would expect the next candle or two to start aggressively showing up to the upside. That would be expected, but at the same time, I wouldn't feel very comfortable with having my stop loss below this low. So yeah. Yeah, let's see. I think I made a good decision that I didn't engage on this one here. But let's see. If it does, or if it will take this low out, then definitely I made the right call. Yeah, I mean, it closed at the low here. Yeah, it's pretty tricky still. It could go below this low now, I think. And the new week opening up still would be open in that regard. So yeah, it feels like they are engineering the bias liquidity here for sure. But I'm not just I'm just not convinced that it's gonna offer the perfect entry during this particular 3 to 4 a.m. It could potentially extend its drop into the later parts of the long open session, or even into the pre-market if this stays open. So we'll see probably. But yeah, I'm glad that I didn't engage this. My gut feeling, or my gut was on point with that one. I would definitely got, or would have been stopped out here with this, which would be an unnecessary loss, I would say, because even though it looks potentially there, it wasn't necessarily there. And why? Because yeah, we still haven't reached the discount rate, which would be this new week opening up first, right? So now it's a little bit different, because now we made a low, we went above it. It failed. I mean, it was respected nice initially, but then it failed. We ran this low out again. So now I would say if within the next 5 minutes we would go above this inversion for value gap on a closing basis and then offer a return, then I'll be more interested to engage on it, because we have a built-in stop hand already below this low. So let me see, and the stop loss would be below this low instead, or like one tick below it. Something like this. Potentially, I'm not saying that this will actually pan out, but if it would took out this short-term low here and then came back quickly and strongly above this inversion fair value gap here on a closing basis, then any return back into it would be a potential long in my mind, with the idea to run that buy side liquidity out. So far, obviously, it's not there at all, and we have last 3 minutes to do so, which means this candle would need to go above it, the next candle would need to return into it, so we need at least 2 minutes to potentially fulfill that idea, which might not be the case, right? It might not be happening, and if that's the case, that's fine also, right? But that's just like an idea that I would potentially like to entertain. But yeah, running lower right away like this, that makes it already far less likely to offer to me like this, because yeah, it's already 358, meaning that this candle would need to close above it. If it doesn't, then there will not be the setup that I'm looking for within the time element, obviously. But they are making even a lower low here. Let's see. I will give it the last 40 seconds to see whether it can deliver that or not. If not, then my expectation would be wait for retracement back into the new week opening up, and then after the turn it could potentially use this still as a bullish inversion for value gap, or form something else lower, right? So yeah, let's cancel this limit order and let's be content with this session, I believe. So yeah, the potential was there, I assume, but particularly for this hour, not much happened, not much delivered. I still like this 341 per value gap. That could be a bullish inversion for value gap that sends the price into the buy side, so I would extend that into the future. But yeah, besides that, there is probably not much more that I can say at this moment, right? More information would be needed. All right, so yeah, nonetheless, the time has just ended for this session. I couldn't find a trade that I like. I think I navigated it reasonably well, taking into consideration what has transposed overall during this session. But yeah, aim session will be my next go-to objective, and I'll be back there. So thanks for watching, kudos to you guys, and see you during the New York aim session 10 to 11 silver bullet. I'll be there. Ciao.